a complete video on how to color correct, conceal, put on foundation, put on blush, and how to contour. So I have never done a video like this, I think, and a lot of people were asking me, you know, what my skin routine is, like what kinds of products I use, how I apply my foundation, how I apply blush, how to contour, all those things I'm going to cover in this video. And I'm going to give you lots of tips in this video about products. I'm going to give you tips about what brushes, what kinds of brushes you can use, some different variations of brushes so you don't have to use, you know, all the same brushes that I'm using. And I'm also going to give some tips for oily skin, because I know that's a lot of people who have oily skin. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, I'm going to show you everything from start to finish. I'm going to start out with color correcting, and that's something I think is often missed. You know, people like to just put on like a ton of concealer, and that's not really going to give you a flawless finish to your skin. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about color correcting, which has a little bit to do with color theory, and yeah, just how to get a very nice flawless finish even if you don't have flawless skin. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find it helpful, and yeah, enjoy! Alright, so I'm not wearing any makeup right now. My eyes right now are pretty red because I have hay fever. So I get seasonal allergies at this time of year, so my eyes are very sort of red and a bit irritated right now. And this is very normal for me for this time of year. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to use is the Ben Nye. This is a Ben Nye concealer. This is the one that I use. This is by Ben Nye, and it's called the Total Cover All Wheel 2 in SK200. Alright, so this is the product that I use, because basically you have a couple different shades in here. This has 6 different shades, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to color correct, because as you can see on my face now, you know, I have some areas that are red, and I have maybe some under eye circles that are sort of more blue toned. So you're going to be wanting to cover different areas of your face with different colors of concealer, because if you just mash on the exact same color all over your face, it's not going to actually correct the problem, right? So the problem here is redness and under eye circles. So to counteract that, you're gonna have to basically use the color that is opposite whatever color you're trying to cancel out on the color wheel. So if you want to cover up redness, you want to use sort of a green, slightly green toned corrector. And for under eye circles, usually they're blue toned. So you want to use sort of like a peach, salmon kind of colored, orange tone sort of corrector. So getting some kind of like a corrector palette like this is a really good investment. I know that you can get one by Makeup Forever makes one as well. Alright, so I'm first going to cover up my under eye circles, which are kind of like blue here. So what I'm going to use is sort of, I'm going to mix a bit of, I think I usually mix this one a little bit with this one. So I'm gonna kind of just mix those together so that I get a nice shade that suits me. And I'm using a concealer brush, okay? You don't have to use this exact brush. This is the one that I'm using. This one is by Afterglow. I know some people also use something very soft, like the 222 by MAC. You can use something like that as well. You could even use the MAC 217 for this. You could use something like this. MAC also has a concealer brush. I don't know the number of that. So you just need to use some kind of brush that you're comfortable with. This is the one that I use. This is by Afterglow, as I said, and it is a synthetic brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just get a little bit onto the brush. I'm not going to take like a ton. It's just a little amount. And I'm going to just start placing that where I want to correct the blue. Alright, so I'm kind of using that peach tone shade. Alright, so I'm kind of just patting that over the blue circle, and for me I get shadows right here, so I'm going to kind of cover up that shadow as well. Alright, and then once I have a bit on, I just like to actually just take my finger and I just sort of dab it, because the heat from your finger is going to kind of warm up the product a little bit as well. and it helps it spread more smoothly. Alright, so that's kind of taken care of those under eye circles a little bit. And now, because I have some redness now in my eyes, like here and just on that outer part, so I'm going to use this green toned, slightly green toned corrector and just kind of repeat the same process. I'm just dabbing it on a little bit. Usually I don't put concealer on my eyelids, but in the spring I have to because, like I said, I get that allergy, seasonal allergies due to hay fever, so I really do have to correct that a little bit because my eyes do get really red. Okay, so that's kind of covered up that redness and the under eye circles a little bit. Now if you feel anywhere else on your face that has redness, like sometimes I like to put a little bit of that green concealer around my nose, because I have a little bit of redness there as well. So I just like to apply a little bit of that there. And I just dabbed in with a finger. Or sometimes I do have a little bit of redness on my cheeks as well, so I kind of just dab a little bit on there. Just a very thin amount, and then I just spread it basically again. I'm not putting on like very much product at all. I'm just kind of dabbing a little bit onto the brush and then just distributing that with my finger. So if you have any blemishes, what you would do, depending on the color of the blemish, if you have like a pimple or something that's red, then you would just take a little bit of the green corrector and just like, imagine if I have a blemish here now, I don't, but you would just basically put it right over where your blemish is and then just blend very gently. You wouldn't put it like all around, or you wouldn't just pile on lots of concealer, because that's what's going to give you that cakey look. So that's why corrector is really good, because it's basically just going to cancel out whatever color it is you're trying to conceal. Alright, now before we put on the foundation, I just want to show you a couple different brushes that you can use for foundation. The one that I normally like to use is the MAC 187. This is a stippling brush. I've talked about this in a couple different videos. So I like to use this because it just really gives a nice flawless finish. And it doesn't absorb a lot of product because it's a synthetic mixed with natural, so it's kind of a mix between both, and I like this one for foundation. Some other brushes that I have also used for foundation, some people really like the MAC 109. I personally do not like this one because I think it sheds a lot. So that's why I don't really like it for foundation, but some people really love this. So you could try out the MAC 109. I've actually also used the MAC 168 for foundation. That's why this is actually clean, but it did stain the brush hairs a little bit, but I don't really care about that. This gave me a really good results for foundation. Similar to the MAC 109, but this one gave me much better results than the MAC 109. So that's another one that you could use. I've also used this one. This is a blush brush, also by Afterglow. So this is also one that I have used for foundation and I had pretty good results with. And I've also used the Afterglow Kabuki brush. And all the Afterglow brushes are vegan, so if that's something that you're concerned about, then you can check out their brushes. I really do like the quality of their brushes, and I have used this for foundation as well, for liquid foundation. So all of those brushes work really well. You can also use one of those flat ones. I think it's the MAC, I have no idea what the name is because I don't actually use it. It's just like the traditional foundation brushes, like the flat ones. I don't like them because I find sometimes they streak, they leave streaks. So I find for myself, I'm going to show you this demo with the MAC 187. So what I'm going to do now is just get my foundation ready. So I'm using I'm using Revlon Color Stay. And I just filled it into like a pump that I have from a moisturizer. But this is just Revlon Color Stay. And what I just do is just get like maybe 1.5 squirts of product. And one thing that you can do is if you want a luminescent finish, you can mix your liquid foundation with a liquid highlighter, because then you'll get like a nice glow all over your face if you want sort of like a luminescent finish. One product that I really like is Benefit High Beam, but the product is very nice, so you can just dab a little bit of that into the foundation and it'll give the foundation a luminescent finish. But I'm actually just going to do it just regular with the regular foundation. So I've got my foundation ready to go. And what I do then is I spray my I spray my 187 brush with a bit of toner. You could use Fix Plus or something as well. So then I just kind of work that into the bristles a little bit. It just kind of dampens the bristles so that they're not going to soak up a ton of product, alright? And then I just very gently start getting a little bit of product onto that brush, and then you can just start stippling it. And I just like to start anywhere really on my cheek, and I just stipple, alright? And this is going to give me like the best, I find that this gives me the best results. I used to like swirl after, and I don't do that anymore. I just stipple now because I find lots of stippling, it does take a bit more time, but it does give you the most flawless result. And I just do little areas, okay? I don't do like the whole face at once. I just start in one area and then just kind of work my way over. Make sure you get that outer corner like right by your ears. Some people tend to forget that. And then just kind of keep stippling a bit down your neck so that if there's a chance that, you know, your foundation is not 100% matched to your skin color, that you're not going to get a harsh line right around your jawline. So you just want to kind of keep going down your neck, and then down here I can just kind of blend it out. It just kind of pull it down. And yeah, just around the ears, because that's a place where people tend to often forget to put foundation, and it'll just be like a line here, so that doesn't look good. You just need to set the concealer. I don't apply powder all over my face yet because powder gives sort of a matte finish, and I like to do that at the very end when I've applied blush and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set the concealer, and I'm going to use the Ben Nye Neutral Set powder for this. It's just a loose translucent powder that is good for setting makeup. So I'm just going to use actually the MAC 224 brush, and I just get just a little bit onto the brush, and I'm just basically dusting a little bit of that over where I applied the concealer because I want that to stay in place. I don't want the concealer to move. And since I applied a little bit today on my eye, usually I don't, but since I applied a little bit on my eyelids, I'm going to have to set that as well. So that's pretty much it for the foundation. As I said, I like to do powder at the very end. So the next part I'm going to show you now is contouring, blush, highlighting, and then powdering at the very end. So make sure you stay tuned for the next part.